Just spinning, and spinning, and spinning, and spinning, and death. Hello, I am Aoyalaipe, and I like to hop into top tier matches in War Thunder, and then personally kill the entire enemy team by myself. Welcome to my channel. Alright, so I'm going to start with this F.14 here, and then I'm just going to pick off the rest of these guys one by one. So this here is the Tornado F.3 Late. It's one of the new British spam rammers that got added in the last update. Now, it's not the best Fox 3 jet, but it is the most fun, and as you can see here, it has a silly amount of firepower. So we just got 1, then 2, and that's 3, that's 4, that's 5, and that there is 6. Where'd the enemy team go? It just disappeared. This plane is like that sometimes. So alright, let's go wipe out an entire lobby with this thing. Side note, I just really felt like ad-libbing this video way more than I usually do, and this is just like a one-off thing, so feel free to tell me in the comments if you hate it. And also, by popular demand, I have brought back the kill counter. Yeah, so this is a plane you play for fun. If you just want to kill everyone in sight, I mean, good lord, is the F-15C overpowered? I need to make a proper video about that plane. My F-15C video was from the day after the update. It was just me being like, I don't know what's going on, but neither does anyone else. Okay, so the Tornado F.3 Late is a swing wing plane. Now the way you use the swing wing on this thing is you leave it set to auto, which it is on by default, and then you never ever touch the wing sweep controls because you're never ever going to dogfight with this thing. However, this might actually be the first swing wing I've ever properly covered on this channel, so I guess I'll quickly explain how it works. So having the wing swept back is good for speed, but bad for maneuverability. Having the wing swept all the way forward is good for maneuverability, but bad for speed. And you can set your wing sweep controls to auto or manual. If you switch from auto to manual, the wings will hold their sweep at the last position you set. So basically, if at the start of the match, you set your wing sweep to manual, and set the sweep to 0 degrees, and then set your wing sweep back to auto, you can fly around and have the game manage your wing sweep on auto for you. However, if you ever need to dogfight, you can just press the manual button, and your wings will default to 0 degrees, which is what you want for a close-in dogfight. So basically, you have a dogfight panic button to use whenever you screw up with this thing and get into a dogfight, which you're gonna lose anyways. But you can use the same basic trick on any other swing wing. Okay, so the Tornado F.3 Late is fast. It has a lot of firepower, and it has a ton of countermeasures. But what else does it have going for it? Nothing. Nothing at all. Which actually makes it really fun. It also makes it a great showcase for how to survive the Fox 3 spam, because it has all the essential ingredients to survive, and just the essential ingredients, nothing else. Now, my official channel motto is missiles don't go through mountains, but actually this plane is one of the extremely rare exceptions to that rule. Like, yes, it's true, missiles still don't go through mountains, but that's actually not going to be much of a help with this plane. The defining feature of the Tornado F.3 Late is that it is an absolute boat. Trying to fly this thing is a bit like trying to fly the Costa Concordia. Like, even with arcade flight models, this thing legitimately struggles to maneuver around in the mountains at just a basic level. If you're on one of the super exaggerated mountainous arcade maps, flying around the mountains can be legitimately dangerous for inexperienced players, even if no one is shooting at you, which people will be doing. I never thought I would see Mountain Ridge pop in a queue and be like, oh no, not this map again. However, this thing is crazy stupid fast, which means it's a really weird plane that dominates on flat maps and is total garbage on mountain maps. I just can't get over the fact that this thing struggles to hide behind a hill with an AIM-9M. Now, you can absolutely outmaneuver and outturn Fox 3s and get into badass dogfights. In general, I mean, not with this specific plane. But that's not the easiest way to survive Fox 3s. The easiest way to survive Fox 3s is to cheese them by flying away very quickly at low altitude while dumping countermeasures. This plane is very fast and has approximately all of the countermeasures. So you just shoot people in the face with AMRAMs and A9Ms and then fly away. So that's what I just did here. I just broadsided the team, killed a bunch of people, and now I'm just gonna make a daring low-altitude escape, just flying directly away from them very quickly while dumping all of the countermeasures I have. I will be long gone and well out of the range of survivors by the time I run out of countermeasures, so I might as well just dump them all and then reload them while I'm reloading the missiles, because remember, countermeasures reload a lot faster than missiles, so you can fire up your missiles and then spend the time dumping your countermeasures and then have them be reloaded at the same time. And actually, as you'll see in just a second, one enemy did sneak through, but he didn't quite manage to get me, because I flew straight over my airfield in front of my spawn, which, if you've seen like any of my other videos, you'll know is the best insurance policy in War Thunder. If I'm surrounded by AAA cover and friendlies, I don't like need ammo to defeat someone. There was actually a guy who got incredibly angry at me for pulling that trick on him a few times. That was in my A5C video if you want to look it up. Now, you might think, okay, wow, so the Tornado F.3 Lite seems like some brain-dead Gankfest plane, just shoot people in the face and run away, and au contraire, that's not the case at all. You see, it's very easy for this thing to escape spam rams on flat maps, but not AIM-9Ms. If someone shoots an AIM-9M at you while you're in a Tornado F.3 Lite and you can't outrange it, you will eat the AIM-9M and die. So, dodging the new big scary missiles is easy. Dodging the old big scary missile, very hard. The reason why is that defeating AIM-9M's lock requires you to either A, get behind a hill, which this thing struggles with as I've explained, or B, it requires you to dump a lot of countermeasures and then turn in a certain way, and as I explained, this thing can't really turn, like, at all. And dumping a lot of countermeasures and making an honest attempted turn won't cut it. You actually have to make a serious turn. And since Gaijin has added a lot of planes that have AIM-9Ms by this point, a lot of people will have, will have their spam rammers, and then they'll have a few extra B-tier crew slots for planes that have AIM-9Ms. Yeah, that stuff that was top of the line for the last few patches, but isn't really grade A stuff anymore. Yeah, this plane struggles to fight that stuff. It's fine going up against the new F.3 carriers, though. So, unlike most spam rammers in the game, the Tornado F.3 Lite isn't all that good at brutally snowballing teams. With most planes, you shoot down enough of the team that the survivors aren't really a big threat anymore because they're down to like really bad planes, and then you can just casually farm them for kills. That's a lot harder to do with this thing. Now, this thing carries 4 AIM-Rams and 4 AIM-9Ms, so you can survive by either never using your AIM-9Ms and just sniping people with AIM-Rams from way across the map and just never getting within range of anyone else's AIM-9Ms, but that's no fun. You can also survive by option B, which is getting creative. The main way you get creative is by using a clever range trick. It's basically the principle I explained in this video, which I will once again link in the description. But basically, if you fire your AIM-9Ms in the head-on at the furthest possible range, and you can radar slay them to get just a little bit more of it, you'll want to do that, your AIM-9Ms will stand a good chance of hitting your opponent, but you will still have enough time to turn your boat of a plane around and escape before their AIM-9Ms can hit you. But that's tricky because people aren't always going to be head-oning you, and you can have all sorts of enemies flying every which way all around you all the time, pointing in, like, whatever direction. You don't always have an ideal situation. So, the other main way I used this thing was I would just really examine like each individual plane in the sky. I'll take a look at the terrain, I'll take a look at where the players are looking, trying to figure out where all my enemies are focusing on, what they're looking at, yada yada, that sort of thing, and then I'll just sucker punch them before they're able to attack me. An AIM-9M fired from a boat is just as deadly as an AIM-9M fired from anything else. That's a lot of fun. It's also very hard. Most players are going to have trouble doing that, but it's a really fun way to play. And that challenge is what keeps drawing me back to this plane when I could just continue sucker punching people with an F-15 or a MiG-29. Actually, I really like the MiG-29 SMT now. The MiG-29 is basically the exact opposite of this plane, oddly enough. Of course, the problem here with trying to sucker punch people is that if you miss, you didn't sucker punch them. And the people you're shooting at can indeed dodge your AIM-9Ms, but you can't dodge theirs, so if they turn around and shoot at you, you die. So how do you do this reliably enough to single-handedly delete entire lobbies by yourself, you might ask? Actually, you probably didn't ask that. I might be the only person to ask that question. I mean, my standard for doing well with the plane is figuring out how to shoot down literally everyone in the lobby with it on repeat, but that's probably a higher standard than most players have, and the strategy for that is very simple. It is true that some planes, many planes actually, if they're flown by players who at least somewhat know what they're doing, will have an easy time dodging AIM-9Ms on a technical level. Yes, this is true. But they're gonna have a lot of trouble dodging 2 AIM-9Ms. So, if I absolutely need someone dead, I will just double tap them. Fire one AIM-9M, and then give it a moment and fire another AIM-9M, and now they have 2 AIM-9Ms coming at them with different firing solutions. If they dodge the first, it makes it a lot harder to dodge the second. I didn't fire a second AIM-9M at that A4 because I could afford to miss him. There's not much he could really do to me. And in fact, I did miss him, and there's not much he's gonna do to me. In fact, I'm gonna kill his entire team. Sucks for him. However, if he had been in, say, an F-16C or an F-15, like anything with AIM-9Ms, I absolutely would have double tapped him. In fact, I might have even triple tapped him if it was like a Griffin. Actually, fun fact, I encountered Bro Sidon while flying this thing. I haven't mentioned him on this channel before, but like, if you play TTA, you know he is because he's one of the best players. He actually has the current world record kill streak, not the jet world record or the plane world record, just the literally any vehicle in War Thunder world record. And he was in an F-15C, which is, you know, the best plane. And he, of course, figured out I was a Oyolipe in disguise and said hi to me in chat. So I was like, oh crap, he's coming for me now. And I just dumped 7 missiles on him, and I got him too. A lot of this game is taking calculated risks, and he dodged the first 6 missiles, but it turns out missile 7 was one too many. Look, it's not overkill if you're fighting someone like that, I guess. So yes, when you're in this plane and you're getting into any sort of remotely close range fight, it is so very, very, very incredibly important that you always kill the other guy before he gets a good shot at you if the other guy has AIM-9Ms. AIM-9Ms are this thing's kryptonite. So this isn't the sort of thing you would ever take into like any like really competitive match, but like if you're hunting sponges, yeah, this thing's a lot of fun. Actually, fun side note, I had a game recently where Poseidon, VPO, and I were all randomly assigned onto the same side. And the enemy team was just a bunch of sponges, and I was like, I guess we'll just have to share this one, guys. And that enemy team was just vaporized. It disappeared so fast. And one of the enemy players was like, you guys have to be hacking. Like, you guys are definitely hacking. And I mean, I get why he would think that. I mean, technically speaking, this was a skill issue. And that wasn't with this plane, though. That was with the Mirage 2005F, which is a much better plane. I've already bumped off a few teams with the Mirage 2005F. I have a 21 kill game, actually, with it already. I think I might use it for my like definitive spam ram survival guide, probably in a week or two. I'm gonna explain how to screw with all parts of a kill chain. I know I make like everything look overpowered, but the Tornado F.3 late really isn't that good. It's a ton of fun, don't get me wrong, but killing entire teams with this thing is a lot harder than killing entire teams with like other stuff. However, the British do have the perk of being one of the few tech trees to have 3 jets with Fox 3 missiles, well, good Fox 3 missiles, excluding F-14s. And it's the only one that can fit 2 of them into a 13.0 lineup and 3 of them into a 13.3 lineup. So you can make a really strong overall lineup in arcade using the British tech tree, and you can get a strong lineup at a low enough battle rating that you can occasionally get some nasty down tiers. Also, I have no idea why I'm trash talking this random guy. He didn't deserve that. Also, let me know which jets you want me to review next in the comments. I'm always open for suggestions. Bonus points if it's one of these planes, because I already have the footage for that. I just haven't gotten around to editing it yet. Or it's a plane I'm planning to play soon anyways, so I will get the footage. I was actually going to make an FRS1 guide last week, but I cut it to make time to mock Rainbow Voldemort. I also wound up cutting basically an anniversary video because it's been about a year since that dude stalked me outside the game and blew up my channel. Oh, and anyways, but in this match, that was the last time we played, so this team is now dead. But yeah, this is a tricky plane to fly, but it's a lot of fun. And remember, if you subscribe and ring the bell, you won't need to remember how to spell Oyolipe next time you want to watch one of my videos.